Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time joining me. I am certified life coach Talia Sage, combining my natural gifts of intuition with the science of life coaching to bring you guidance and tools that you can use to create your best life possible. Today's video message will be all about your star family. We're going to find out which star system you may be from, where your star family is from, your mission with your star family, and then also try to get some insight on when you will be meeting them. Before we get into the messages, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It lets YouTube know that you like what you see and that you want to see more of it, and it helps me to accomplish my mission, which is to reach and help as many people as possible create their best lives. Life is hard, and many of us go through this life feeling as though we have no support, no one there to count on. And that's why I am here, to offer that support, to offer that assistance to as many people as possible. So thank you very much for helping me to accomplish that mission. As I said, this video is going to be about your soul family. And as you can see, we have 4 group options today. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. The pile selector for Group 1 is You Got the Love, Hadarian Energy, Codependency, Boundaries. I did shuffle for all of the pile selectors, so they will be incorporated into your messages. Group 2 has Surrender to Sweetness, Venus Energy, Pleasure, Joy, Make Love to Life. Group 3 is Star Brothers, Horus Energy, Protection, Loyalty, Safety, Trust. And then Group 4 is Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, Conflict. As usual, use your discernment to decide which groups or multiple groups are calling out to you. If you're drawn to more than one, that's okay. Just know that that means that you have messages sprinkled throughout multiple groups. This is a general reading, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Not everything in each pile may resonate with you, and that's okay. You can pause the video here if you need more time to decide which group you're choosing. Otherwise, timestamps will be listed below in the description box. And if you would like to schedule a private reading or some life coaching sessions, you can also find my website listed in the description box below, and I will see you at your messages. Hello, Group 1. If you chose this You Got the Love card, Hadarian Energy, Codependency, Boundaries, these will be your messages about your soul family. So, Hadarian Energy. I will read the book description about this energy, but right away what I'm getting is that you may be someone who's dealt with some codependency yourself, whether that's being codependent on people, having addictions perhaps, dealing with some low vibe energies like depression, anxiety, overthinking, even gossipy. You've maybe had to deal with not having the strongest boundaries. That's maybe been something that you've been learning within this lifetime, is how to have better boundaries, how to not be a people pleaser. And I feel like all of those things, it's part of your mission with your soul family. It's like you will all meet after you have all worked your way through any of your codependency issues. Once you have healed yourself of codependency, any of those previous things that I mentioned, right? And your mission together is to help spread that message to others and to help others. I feel like teach others how to become more self-reliant, more independent, more interdependent within their relationships, not needing substances to fall back on. You could meet in some sort of group like AA or any sort of support group. But let's read this card and see what it has to say for you. You got the love. You got the love. The Hardarians are believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love, who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they can find it hard to have boundaries, independent, healthy relationships, because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. That might describe you, Group 1. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love while in a separate body. They learn to love self first and then establish healthy relationships with others. To remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they truly do have the love all on their own. The message of this card is to review the ways you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing your sense of self. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into relationships, particularly with those who feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive, or perhaps there's a certain volatility to it, and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is assigned to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you've made, consciously or unconsciously. To acknowledge if there are relationships in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel like it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe and cover up. So that whole card could have described you in some way, and that is also the energy that your soul family carries. You see the good in people. You all will see the good in people. And because of that, I feel like it's hard. I'm getting the chills, and it reminds me of myself. Because of the fact that you see the good in people, it's easy for you to ignore the red flags, whether that's in friendships, with your family, within romantic relationships, or even within career, work. It's like you see the positive, you see the good, you see the potential. And so you may have a tendency to stay in situations for longer than is necessary because you see the potential. And I feel like part of when you will meet the rest of the soul family is when you all have learned how to have healthy boundaries, how to not give so much of yourself that it's a detriment to you. When you learn how to have balance within your service to others and to yourself. But let's see what the rest of your oracle cards have to say here. All right, what is your mission with your soul family? You have Stargate heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity, right? Those Hadarians see the love in all things. And then you have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. 100%. That is what I was feeling before when I said it. I feel that part of your mission is to teach others how to move past codependency, to teach others to love themselves just as much as they love everyone else around them, to teach others to put themselves first. And part of the reason that you cannot meet them until you have learned this lesson, or at least begun learning this lesson, is that you are all so open-hearted. I feel like your heart chakra is maybe a bit too open, and that You just can't help to give, and they would do the same thing within relationships. And if one of you is out of balance or not healthy, it would throw the whole dynamic off. And this is why you are not meant to meet them until you learn this lesson. I'm going to pull some more oracle cards as I'm speaking to get some more insight on when you will be meeting these members of your soul family. All right, Earth School, soul growth. Part of your mission with this group of people, or part of your mission individually, but you might have friendships with these people, is that you are here to help people grow. That is that teaching. I feel like you're meant to be some sort of leader, whether that is being a teacher. You might be in some sort of healing field. You might decide to be some sort of counselor or therapist, or lead some sort of group like AA or recovery group, something like that, which is also probably where you will meet these people. But you are here to help people learn important life lessons that will help them to live better, more fulfilling lives, where they can have boundaries, where they can put down that extra glass of wine, where they can say no to eating that whole bag of chips, where they can tell people in their life to do something for themselves and not have to jump in and do things for everyone. It's really a beautiful thing. Like, you have so much love to give this world, you and your soul family. And I feel like part of your mission here is to learn how to give that love to yourself. This keeps coming up in my readings a lot, which is, that saying of put on your oxygen mask first. I feel like that is the biggest lesson that you are learning in this lifetime, is how to take care of yourself first. Because if you are depleted, if you are burnt out, you are no good to anyone else. And no matter how much your heart is in the right place, when you are burnt out, you're not going to be able to give them your best. You're not going to be able to give people that loving energy that you're trying to give. This makes me reminds me of a story about myself. I was in a place when I was newly getting into spirituality, and I was just always giving to myself. I was super pregnant and in pain and sick all the time, but every time someone needed something, I would jump up and try to make it better for them. And normally I'm a very good cook, right? And I remember one time I made soup for a friend's daughter. First off, not even my friend, but a friend's daughter who was sick. And this soup came out so horribly. And I didn't even know until after I had dropped off their portion of the soup, because I didn't even test it, which is not like me at all. But I was so depleted and burnt out at that time that I messed up the recipe. I didn't even think to test the soup, and it was something that I was incredibly embarrassed about. They never said anything about it, but I was embarrassed because I knew I could do better. And that was when I really started to realize that I have to take care of me first. It doesn't matter what's going on in other people's lives. They will be supported by the universe. It's not all on my shoulders to take care of everyone and everything. And I feel like that's a message that wants to come through for you. It's like the world, you do not have the weight of the world on your shoulders. It is not up to you to make sure that everyone is taken care of and happy. At some point, people have to be willing to help themselves. And if they are not, it is not on you to take on that burden. I'm seeing some 10 of Wands energy here of someone who just wants to help, who wants to be of service. But you cannot help everyone. There has to come a day when people want to help themselves. It's like no matter how much you wish someone would stop taking those pills, you cannot want it more than they want it. So take care of yourself, group 1. Take care of yourself. All right, so your next card's out of when you will meet these people. You have Secrets Revealed, card 36. And then you have Lioness. You've earned all your stripes. 100%, as I was already feeling, you will meet them after you have learned these lessons, after you have learned the lesson of putting yourself first, after you have learned to accept yourself. Stretch marks and all, right? Once you feel more comfortable in your own skin, that you are better able to put up boundaries. Once you have learned, I feel like, all the secrets of yourself, of what makes you tick, what makes you happy, why you do what you do. And part of learning those secrets is realizing what your soul mission is, who your soul family is. I'm feeling like this is resonating with many of you. Just having that big, open, generous heart, of maybe even having some issues around boundaries and placing boundaries. Maybe dealing with some codependency, whether that's addictions to substances, people, habits. Queen of Sheba. If I'm not mistaken, 13 is the death card in the tarot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's telling me that at the end of the lessons, that will be the death, that will be the end of that cycle, and then that new cycle will begin. And that new cycle is going to bring in so much stability for you. With this 13 reducing down to a 4, is going to bring in a new sense of security and safety. I feel like it's going to bring in a new feeling of you feeling seen, you being loved, right? The way that you deserve to be loved, because you're going to come into unison with people who love just as hard as you do, who give just as much as you give. It will no longer be these relationships that are out of balance, because I feel like for many of the relationships in your life and in your soul family's lives, they have been the ones who give the most. And because people are just people, they take. People are going to take what you are offering. It doesn't make them bad, it just makes them people. And it's like, once you get to this place of just being sick and tired of being sick and tired, once you get to this place of being fed up with people not reciprocating as much as you give, that's when you're going to really begin to learn these lessons. And you might already be in this phase of learning these lessons. And once you really get to a place where you can put up those boundaries, where you know that that addiction no longer has a hold of you, that is when these people will start being revealed in your life. We have this 36 reducing to a 9. That will be the end of the cycle. The secrets will be revealed to you. I'm going to pull some tarot cards to get some more information about perhaps your mission or timing. So many cards. So many cards. All right. You could begin to meet them around the time that you're 36. You could start meeting them over the next 4 years. Six of Wands. Victory. I feel like you're all meant to be successful people in your own right. You all will, this group of people that you meet, there may be six of them, six of you all in total, who are close, who stay in contact on a regular basis, but it's like you will all have the same fire, the same desire to help other people. And you will cheer each other on. I'm hearing that for some of you, you could start meeting them in as little as 6 months. You will be each other's cheerleaders. Your next card out is the Star. Once again, that is telling me that these people will come into your life after you've all gone through some healing, but it will also be like a wish coming true. This is the feeling that you will feel when you meet the members of your star family. It will seem like a wish coming true. Some of you could have up to 7 soul family members that you will meet in this lifetime, between 6 and 7. But this energy is here. It's just like, you know, when people like win a big game or win the lottery and they're like, what are you going to do now? And they're like, we're going to Disneyland. That is the energy, that is the feeling that it will feel like when you meet these people. Heck, you might even decide to take a trip together to Disneyland. Some of you, I'm also seeing this image of Sex and the City, the movie. Is it the second movie or the first movie? I can't remember, it's been so long. But when they're going through the desert on the camels, some of you may take that sort of trip. The timing of when this will happen will be different for all of you because we are all on different journeys. But the feeling that you will receive when they are around is one of being victorious, will be one of wishes coming true. You will feel supported and like you are finally recognized, like people see you for who you are. You will cheer each other on, you will support each other and lift each other up. And I feel like that will be a welcomed change for most of you. You might want to look into Hadarian energy. There may be some more information there for you, but either way, work on any codependency and issues around boundaries. Because as you heal this is when these people will begin showing up in your life. Group 1, if this resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here. If you would like to support the channel even more, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's also an Amazon wish list listed in the description box below. All purchases will come with a free tarot reading, and all purchases will go directly into making this channel bigger, better, and more fabulous. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye. Hello, Group 2. If you chose this Surrender to Sweetness card, these will be your messages of your soul family. So, right away, we have Surrender to Sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. I am feeling that you and your soul family are all children of Aphrodite, of Venus. You come with the message of showing people how to enjoy life, showing people how to see the beauty in everything around them. You come with the message of letting people know that it is okay to enjoy themselves, to feel pleasure. You may have had some issues yourself around accepting your own sensuality, sexuality, seeing the beauty within life, being able to really enjoy yourself, maybe not take life so seriously. I feel like you also come to show people how to manifest. You know, you have to be in this vibration of enjoying life and enjoying the things around you in order to truly manifest. And I feel like that's partly what you and your soul family come here to teach us all. Let's read what the book has to say for you. Surrender to the sweetness. It says, this is a sensual, highly feminine card. It's a call to surrender to the sweetness of life, to let the ever-abundant feminine take over, to taste the fruits you've been working so hard to grow, to let your senses take over and really drink in your life with wonder, to get intoxicated on the simple bounty that this planet has to offer and which you have within you when your well is full. The ancient Babylonians connected the feminine goddess Ishtar to the planet Venus. Ooh, you may want to look up Babylonians and the goddess Ishtar. And in Roman mythology, Venus was the goddess of love and beauty. In our night sky, aside from the moon, Venus shines the brightest. Time is our most precious resource, and it's the greatest healer. If you've been all work and no play, this is a sign to take some time out, to reconnect with your lover, play with your children, and give yourself the luxury of time without an agenda. Many of us are so busy building our lives that we forget to enjoy them. We forget why we decided to build them in the first place. Disconnection from the sweetness causes more pain than we realize. So many of us walk into soulless buildings 5 days a week in the name of survival. We strive to build the life of our dreams, but drive ourselves to exhaustion. This card is wooing you back to the pleasures of being human, to focus on what really matters and enjoying your incredible life. I love that, group 2. I feel like part of your message that you come here with is to slow down. I feel like many of you came from a time when life was simpler. You may even have this feeling of being an old soul and wanting to get back to when times were simpler, when people didn't have to punch in on a time clock, when people had more freedom and more time to be outside and enjoy themselves. I feel like those 2 years when many of us were on lockdown and had to stay home, you probably enjoyed those 2 years more than the average person, because it gave you the time to finally slow down and to not feel like you had to keep up or do things that you really don't want to do. I love that. You probably almost have, and if you don't have this now, it's probably something that you're learning to do, is to tap in more into your inner child, just being in the moment, enjoying the moment. You know, just like a kid, they can start playing and lose track of time. I feel like if you're not already there, that is part of the lessons that you're meant to learn. And you will start to call in your soul family once you learn that lesson of being able to zone out, to disconnect yourself from the matrix, so to speak. All right, let's see what your other oracle cards have to say. So these next 2 cards, or 3 cards for you, are going to give us some information about what your mission is with your soul family. Your first card is Arcturian Light Codes, Evolutionary Downloads, Recalling Power, Future Thinking. You are also connected to the Arcturians. You may want to look that up. Next, you have Temple of Truth, Throat Chakra, Authenticity, Self-Expression. Then you have Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. I feel like part of your mission as well with your soul family is to help people realize their full potential, realize their power, realize that it's okay to disconnect from the matrix and to do things that they enjoy, that they don't always have to be all work and no play, that they don't always have to be striving for power. You are helping to bring a more futuristic sort of thinking to people. And I don't even feel like it's futuristic. I feel like it's going back to when times were simpler. You're bringing that back. And you're teaching people to think for themselves, to speak up for themselves, to be more authentic to themselves, doing what brings them joy, what brings them pleasure. Because that is the point of life. We're not meant to be here to just work until we die. We're meant to enjoy the limited time that we have on this planet. And that is the intelligence of the universe that you are bringing to the rest of this world. I feel that you and your soul tribe are very intuitive beings. You're very connected to the divine. I'm going to be shuffling some cards to get some more insight about when you will meet these soul families, after what particular lessons. You are very much connected. We have this card, Child of the Cosmos, the intelligence lies within you. And then you have this card where they have the rays coming out from their third eye, through their crown chakra, from their heart space even. You radiate love, you radiate joy. I feel like this is an energy that you just spill out onto people. And if you are not there, that is a place that you are meant to get to. You're meant to, for many of you, you may have overcome a lot of challenges in your past. You maybe had to deal with issues around, like I said in the beginning, your sensuality, your sexuality. You maybe had to deal with issues around being able to be your authentic self, speak up for yourself. You maybe had to do a lot of work around discovering who you are. You maybe were projected on in early life and turned into someone that you weren't. Like you could have had parents who are really strict about you going to school and getting a good education, even though you had no desires to go to school and get a good education. Like maybe you wanted to be an artist, maybe you wanted to be a dancer, but they drove something into you that you had to do things this way. It could have been something like you got caught up in the rat race of trying to beat everyone else when it comes to the money you make, how big of a house you have, how nice of a car you drive, that FOMO, that fear of missing out. It could have really taken a hold of you. It could still have a hold of you, but you're learning to make choices for yourself that will lead you to more happiness, that will make you feel more fulfilled, that will allow you to feel like you're actually living your life and not just going through the motion. "100%, your mission together is to help other people step into their own power, to say, No, I'm not going to go in and work that overtime this week and be okay with it. Quiet quitting culture. You might be big into that. When people started talking about that, you could have been like, so what? People are just going to do their job that they were paid to do and not do anything more? That's how it should have been from the get-go, just very much helping people to reclaim their lives so that they are not leaving this world wishing that they would have taken more time out with their family, wishing that they would have gone backpacking through Europe instead of being dedicated to that job, instead of being dedicated to climbing that corporate ladder. Not saying that there's anything wrong with those things, but that a lot of people get caught up in those things. And then many people do leave this earth wishing that they would have taken more time to enjoy themselves. We have blue in all these cards. A major lesson that you've probably been working on, like I said before, and your soul family, is learning to use that throat chakra, to exercise that throat chakra. Some of you may even be singers or musicians. You might be motivational speakers. You might use your voice for a living in some way. And you yourself, like I've said, has probably had to overcome some difficulties in this area, which makes you the perfect expert to help spread that message to other people. That is the intelligence that lies within you. It's like at some point in life, you could have looked at yourself and been like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Who said it has to be this way? And if you are not there yet, you might get there soon. All right, there we go. Your next cards of when you will meet these people, although we've already hit on that a bit. We have library, take control of your own narrative. Once again, recalling power, card 22. And then you have giving and receiving, Ma'at, card 10. You may also be connected to many of you also had a past life in Egypt. Take control of your own narrative, 100%. You're teaching people how to be the leading characters of their own story, how to become their own heroes. Many people, I feel, are walking through life right now, wondering when things will get better, wondering when things will improve, when things will change, without seeing that they have the power to improve things themselves. They have the power to bring about the change that they want to see. That they don't have to be controlled by this matrix, by the puppet master. That they can cut away those strings and head in whatever direction that they want to go in. And part of when you will meet these soul family members is when you have come to this lesson, when you have finished this lesson, first off, of learning to control your own life, how to be the leading character of your own life, but also when you learn how to, I feel, find balance in giving to yourself and giving to the world around you. Find balance in work and play. Find balance in that self-care, but also taking care of your loved ones. Very much about balance in the first two piles. But also this 10 is telling me is that once again, just like pile 1, when you learn these lessons of how to speak up for yourself, how to create the life that you want to see, how to live in your own authenticity, that will be the end of the cycle. That will be the end of the cycle of you giving back to yourself and also giving to the world, because as you learn these things, the energy is just going to pour out of you and inspire other people around you. And when that begins to happen, you're going to start this new cycle of coming into union with these soul family members. You may have already met some already, but coming into union with more of these soul family members where you all will be able to, I feel like, receive that love and that goodness and that joy and pleasure from each other. Some of you, this is kind of far out there, but it came to mind and I'm getting the chills as I'm about to say it. Some of you might be polyamorous or in poly types of relationships. Or you may be coming to terms with being interested in that sort of lifestyle. You might believe in, your tarot card out is the 10 of Wands, another 10 for you. Okay, I'm being drawn to myself a bit. So if I could, I would own a ton of land and I would almost have like a commune where I get to raise my children in an environment with other loving people who want to give back to the planet, who want to help each other out, who want to help raise each other's children, because I believe it does take a village. And that might also be a dream or a fantasy that many of you have, where you can just live in this community. I'm seeing Moana now, where tell me if this is too far out there, but where it's like everyone has their role, everyone has their job, and we help each other out. It's not based on money and stature, but it's a more communal type of living. Let me know if that's you. All right. But okay, 2 10s. I feel like when you all come together, it is sort of going to be the end of an era, because singularly, your power is great. But as a collective, when you all get together, that power is magnanimous. Is that the word? That power is, it overpowers the dark. I'm seeing that there might be up to 10 of you within the soul family who will meet at some point. If this is a communal living situation, there could be like 10 adults who come together and create this sort of community where you can raise your children together and teach them to live off the land, or teach them about the land or spirituality, or just enjoying life. It's like, and you have the sun here, just so much love and joy and passion. It's just radiating off of all of you. I love this. Many of you now may feel as though I want to say, like, as though life gets you down. Like, things are just so meh, so blah. Like, people walk around so unhappy. And many of you walk around and you see like so much magic around you. You see so much beauty around you. And it might bring you down being surrounded by people like that. But I feel like part of your message is to learn how to not allow what you see outside of you to affect your vibration, because your vibration is high and it's meant to be high. It's meant to radiate. And like I said, spill over into everything around you. You might be someone who's like, when you go to work now, who's like always smiling and bubbly and want to talk, and then everyone else is just like, meh. And it might just make you laugh a little bit. Next, you have the Seven of Pentacles. This is kind of what I was seeing. People who want to maybe live off the land, people who want to give back to the earth, who want to plant new seeds and new ways of being, which is that authenticity, that self-expression, learning to think freely and not have to fit in with the crowd. For some of you, there's just 7 of you within this soul family that you're meant to meet in this lifetime. But once you fully learn how to embrace your own light, regardless of how humdrum and humbug people are around you, once you learn to be your authentic self, right? To be a circle in a world full of square pegs, this is when you will come into union with your star family, with your soul family. So group 2, if this resonated for you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to help support the channel even more, there is an Amazon wish list listed in the description box below. Everything purchased off of that wish list will come with a free tarot reading, so be sure to include your YouTube handle name so I know how to reach you. Everything that is purchased goes directly into making this channel bigger, better, and more fabulous. If you would like to schedule a private reading or some coaching sessions, you can find my website listed in the description box below. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye. Hello, group 3. If you chose this Star Brothers card, these will be your messages about your soul family. So you have Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. So right away, I'm feeling like you and your soul family have had ties, have had past lives in Egypt. You may be someone who is very, very drawn to Egyptian history. But part of your mission here with your soul family is to, I feel like, to spread the message of trusting in the universe, to show people and each other especially true loyalty. You've maybe had some problems around people, friends, family, jobs, not being loyal. You might be someone who is loyal to a fault, like you will stand by people. You are ride or die, right? And that is hard to find. That is a rare gift. And not many people are that way. Most people are out for themselves. And that is something that you will find within your soul family, is that they will be ride or die. They will have your back. They will support you and cheer you on just as much as you cheer them on. You will be able to feel safe around them, and they will feel safe around you, safe enough to be yourselves, to be as quirky and unique as you want without fear of judgment or ridicule. But you will also have this bond of a spiritual connection. It may be something that you speak about, it may not be, but it could even be this unspoken bond of just trusting in the universe, trusting in the process, being able to go with the flow. And I feel like this is partly when you will be able to meet this family, is when you learn to trust in the universe. You may be someone who's had some issues around or not issues, I should say, but like tendencies around control. Wanting to control everything, trying to control every outcome, trying to micromanage the universe, so to speak, trying to always be 10 steps ahead, right? You may have dealt with a tumultuous past where there's been a lot of shakeups in your past. You could have had a childhood that was wrought with instability. And now in adulthood, it's like you're still trying to seek that stability. You're trying to create it for yourself. You could have big dreams of wanting to create something, build something, and trying to control it all yourself, manage it all yourself. And I feel like one of your big lessons in this life and your soul family is that you are all learning how to co-create with the universe, trusting that if you take 2 steps towards the universe, it will take 10 steps towards you. And believing in the greater plan. And I feel like once you learn these lessons, that is when these people will begin showing up in your life. But let's see what the rest of your cards have to tell us. All right, you have Earth Star activation, anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy. More Egyptian energy coming out here. Then you have the Void, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. And then you have Earthed, 2 cards of being earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Yes. Part of your mission is to teach other people how to, like I was saying before, embrace the unknown, to find acceptance within any situation that they're currently in, trusting that they will come out on the other side. You are here to teach people to, how do I say this? Teach people how to be in this world, but not lose their identities. How to be in this world, doing what we need to do, right? To survive, to put food on the table, to put a roof over our heads, but how to also still be a sovereign being, making choices for themselves, not being controlled by outside forces. Once again, how to trust the world, how to feel safe within the world. Many of you are very high, many of you within your soul family, you are all very high spiritual beings, and you maybe have had some lessons around learning how to accept being on this earth. You could be someone who feels as though you are not from this earth, that you are maybe not meant to be here. Like everything here is foreign to you. Like it does not make sense to you why we do what we do. And I understand that feeling 100%. You may be people who have lived in fantasy worlds. Like you've had to escape into your own mind and maybe even tapping into the divine because this world is so hard. Like maybe it's hard for you to be around all the anger and the hatred and the animosity that this world puts out. You may consider yourself a very sensitive soul. Other people may have said to you, you're too sensitive. You may have thought to yourself, I'm too sensitive. But you're not. You are just pure love and light. And it's hard to be in this frequency of earth, which is so dense, so stagnant. Let's read what this Star Brothers card has to say for you. It says, you're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions. You may also be drawn to group 4. That just came up. Many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open. The world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond, to call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. Those pages could have described your life experiences and your soul family's life experiences. It's like this feeling of knowing that there's more than meets the eye, knowing that life isn't just this. I feel like you might have some feelings of past lives. You may resonate with Egyptian times because you might feel like this home calling from Egypt, like you just feel connected to other places. And because of that, it makes it hard for you to trust what you now see. You maybe have had some codependency issues of just trying to numb yourself, trying to escape, because this world is so harsh. There was another thought that came to mind as I was reading. What is it? I feel like you all could be either very religious or spiritual or a combination of both. And part of your mission here is to help bring that back to earth. To bring in a sense of, I can't think of the words. Okay, I'm going to draw some cards to get some information about when you will meet these people, although we have already spoken about it a bit. You may be someone who went on missions or have gone on missions or thought about going on missions, just spreading the word of a higher power in some way. You could want to go into some sort of healing field where you teach people about a higher power. All right. Your goddess card that fell out is grief with Allah, card 29. It wanted to show itself in reverse. And then you have nostalgia, focus on the here and now, card 33. This is 100% what you're meant to teach people. Just like the book was saying with that Star Brothers energy. You're meant to help people learn how to stay grounded even through life's ups and downs, how to trust that there is a greater force at work, that things will turn out for the better in the end. And that is part of the lesson that you're meant to learn, and part of the lessons that you have to learn before these soul family members begin to come in. Like I said before, you could be someone who has spent a lot of time daydreaming, living in fantasy worlds, playing video games, distracting yourself, getting lost on your phone, or self-medicating, having issues around codependency perhaps, just trying to escape the heaviness of this world. And part of your lesson is learning how to be in the present, how to not escape, how to not have to live in the past. You could be someone who's dealt with depression. You could be someone who's dealt with anxiety, panic attacks. You're also not only not living in the past, but also not focusing too much on the future, but learning to find enjoyment in this present moment, no matter what is going on. You may be someone who's really had to do a lot of work around gratitude. Like I said, you could, or was that a different pile? Yeah. Early in life, that was a different pile, but early in life, you could have learned to escape, right? There could have been some heavy things in your childhood that you just had to learn to zone out and escape from. And those same tendencies could have followed you into adulthood. Once again, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. But either way, whether that was you or not you, you're meant to learn how to be in the present moment, how to be present, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. You're meant to, once you learn how to overcome your own grief, how to deal with the void, deal with being stuck, deal with overcoming that darkness around you and accepting it, living in it, thriving in it even. That is when these people will begin to show up in your life. It could be that you even meet some of these people by joining some sort of support group. You could meet these people by taking some classes that you're interested in taking. You guys could meet at a coffee shop. Look at this card. These chicas here are sitting down talking, and this one here has her head all up in the clouds here. This could have been an energy that you have found yourself in very much in life. Like, it's hard for you to listen. It's hard for you to stay in this present moment because your mind wanders. All right, your tarot card out is the World. Part of what you're meant to learn and the message that you and your soul family are meant to share is that we all have the world in our hands. We get to make of it what we want. If we are focused on the negative, if we are focused on all the things that didn't go right, if we are focused on what could go wrong in the future, that is what we create for ourselves. But if we stay in this present moment, being grateful for what is here now, accepting what is, letting Jesus take the wheel, giving things over to a higher power, we can also create the world that we want. I feel like for some of you, there will be about 5 members of your soul family that you're meant to come into union with. This world again though is telling me that once you learn these lessons about being more present in life, not letting the pain of your past or any pain that comes into your life hold you back, that is when these people will begin to show up in your life. And look at that, we also have the Three of Swords. Grief, right there. Grief. I feel like there will be 3 to 5 soul family members that you all will come into contact with. You might even find each other, like I said, like through like some like grief support group, or you might bond. I just heard the World Wide Web via the internet or something else over the grief that you have endured. And when you come into union with them, it will be after you've healed, while you're healing, and it will help to further your healing. And it will be like a wish come true. Because, like I was saying in the beginning, for many of you, you have yet to meet people as loyal as you are. You have yet to meet people who accept you just as you are, who make you feel safe, people that you feel that you can trust wholeheartedly, to have your back, to be that ride or die. It will be a wish come true, a dream come true. And I have to point out too, we have 3 and then 33 here. Many of you, you may start to see 3s a lot before one of these soul member families are going to come into your life. It could be 33, it could be 333. But this is also telling me that, first off, these people are going to offer you so much support. Once again, it might be a support group, but also these people will begin to come into your life the more you take care of yourself and your health. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It might be that you end up joining some sort of spiritual group or religious group once you've already started some healing work, and you meet these people there. People who will find that will get you. People that you will get. You won't feel so foreign, so alien. They will finally feel like home. And I love that for you, Group 3. If this video resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to help support the channel even more, there is an Amazon wish list listed in the description box below. Anything purchased from that wish list comes with a free tarot reading, so be sure to include your YouTube handle name in that purchase so that I know who you are. And everything that is purchased goes directly into this channel to help make it bigger, better, and more fabulous. Thank you for sharing your lovely energy with me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye. Hello, Group 4. If you chose this karmic relationships card, these will be your messages. So you have Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. So right away, I feel that you and your soul family come from the Orion star. Orion. You might be interested in looking up that constellation system. There could be some more messages there for you. I feel as though part of your life thus far and their life is that you all have had some very karmic relationships. You could have come from a karmic family where you may be the first in your family to break some generational traumas, to step out on your own and do things differently. You could have been seen as the black sheep of your family. You could even see yourself as an underdog. You and your soul family, you have a big mission. And I feel like part of that mission is to turn the tides, to turn the energy. There are some karmic things that you have had to overcome, that you may still be overcoming. But I feel like part of the message that Spirit wants you to know is that you will get to a point where that karma is cleared. And you will be coming into contact with that soul family once you all clear up these karmic relationships. Let's read what this card has to say for you. Karmic relationships. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion time. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind to see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? You and even your soul family members could have been people who have changed a lot or will change a lot. You could have had set views that you were maybe taught in childhood, set ways of seeing the world that you maybe learned through different experiences, and you've maybe had lots of instances in life, or may continue to have instances in life where those things come into question, where something happens that makes you pivot and look at things in a whole new way. So this could be a message for some of you. It could be similar to your life, but I'm being drawn to myself. My whole upbringing was wrought with a lot of abuse, and for a long time I saw it completely one way, completely one-sided, that these people were just not good or could not love or whatever the situation was. And as I got older and became more spiritual, all of those beliefs came into question, and I was finally able to start seeing actually the similarities of how I was treated and what life must have been like for them when they were also children. Seeing it allowed me to soften to the fact that we're all here just trying to do our best. And many of us from an early age are just taught the wrong things. But it takes a really strong, courageous, brave person to be the one to stand up and say, I'm going to do things differently. And you may have had scenarios in your life where it's been like that too, where you could have had a lot of anger towards people, even hatred towards people because of the ways that they treated you, the ways that they neglected you. And then maybe came to a place where you were able to put yourself in their shoes and look at it a little bit differently so that you could finally forgive, so that you could finally move on, so that you could come to more of an understanding of how to break that cycle. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. But let's see what some of your other cards have to say. All right, you received a lot of cards. You have higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. You then have halls of Amenti initiation, secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Followed by the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Wasn't I just talking about softening up? Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Some of you may be fire signs or have strong fire placements in your chart. Part of your mission here with your soul family is to hit rock bottom. You and many members of your soul family will be people who have hit rock bottom in one way, shape, or form, where you have had to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, where you have been deep in depression, where you have maybe been deep into addictions, deep into codependency, deep into even considering suicide, right? Just not seeing the point to life because you've maybe been through so many hard things. But you and your soul family are all meant to pull yourself out of those holes. And that is part of your mission here, is to pull yourself up out of those holes and guide others, teach others, be that inspiration, become leaders. When in the beginning I was saying that you have, did I say you had a very deep mission or strong mission? I can't remember the exact words, but basically you have such a strong, deep mission because you also have a strong purpose, a higher purpose than many people around you. It could be breaking those generational traumas, breaking those generational curses, teaching your kids differently, raising your kids differently than you were raised. It could be learning to soften to love. You could have been very angry at some point. Your soul family members could have been very angry about life at some point. You could have just had so much go wrong, right? Felt like the world was against you. Felt like what? Okay, more personal information about me. As a child, there are many times when I would pray and cry to God, asking, why am I here? Why did you put me on this earth to just be mistreated? I would pray that I would not wake up. And for many years, that is how I felt. And it wasn't until I decided that I wanted to change, that I deserved to be happy, that I started to see my own self-worth enough and believe that I had the power to make things change in my own life. Once I started doing that, I started seeing life differently. I started seeing the magic and the beauty all around me. I started meeting people who loved me the way I deserved to be loved, who treated me the way I deserved to be treated, even though I still had some trust issues, even though I still had some issues around accepting it. These could be energies that you have also dealt with. It's like maybe for a long time, it was hard for you to see your worth. because you felt like everything around you kept telling you that you were worthless. People in your life kept mistreating you, using you, abusing you, walking away from you, and it made you feel as though you were worthless. But bottom of the deck energy, secrets revealed. Just like, oh, secrets revealed there too. Oh, I love that. As you go through life, and I feel like for many of you, you've already started to see this, is that secrets about yourself, about your own divinity, about life are being revealed to you. The more that you get to know yourself, the more that you learn to love and accept yourself, learn to accept your past, learn to embrace your own authenticity, your own uniqueness. It's like you start to uncover more about yourself, realizing that you don't really hate people after all. You actually love people. You love life. You don't hate life. You love life. Realizing that for a long time, you were angry, or you were in this energy of being angry or distrustful. And so that attracted more karmic relationships into your life. You attracted people who you could not trust. You attracted people who would trigger you. And that's been happening so that you could learn to alchemize all of that energy and turn it into divine love. Turn it into loving yourself. And even if you're not already, some of you very well could be in this energy now of already being cracked open. The saying, the wound is where the light enters you, is coming to mind, where you're learning to just surrender to life, surrender to what is happening, allowing yourself to learn the lessons, to not make the same mistakes again, to acknowledge the red flags, to love yourself, and to only accept love in, right? You're learning how to trust the right people, how to pour your heart into the right people and situations. Let's look at these next cards. You have Feather. Think first before you judge, 26. You may have been really drawn to that movie, The Craft, when you were younger, or could just be really into spirituality and witchcraft. But I'm feeling like because of the things that happened in your life, because of past karmic relationships, family, whatever it was, or you even could have had people in your life who are very judgmental. Either way, you learn to be very judgmental. And this could be something that you've realized about yourself, or something that you're coming to realize about yourself. But this is one of those things that you're meant to learn and overcome within this lifetime before you start to meet these soul family members. Learning how to not only not judge others, but to not judge yourself. To accept yourself just the way you are, flaws and all, and to accept others, accepting that we all have our own journeys, that we all have our own missions that we are meant to play out on this earthly plane. Another lesson that you are meant to learn is that everything has its season. There will be moments of great joy in life. There will be moments of despair and grief. There will be times of great joy and sunshine, and there will be times of darkness and uncertainty. But learning to love yourself through all of it, not giving in to despair, not giving in to depression, to fear, to anxiety, to worry. Really learning to trust the universe and to trust that, I'm hearing trust the wave you rode in on. Like this right here, it's like they're standing in water. It looks like the earth, but it's water. They're standing in water. To trust the timing of everything. That is part of the lessons that you're meant to learn within this lifetime. And once you learn those lessons, not just you, but also your soul family, once you all learn these lessons, that is when you'll be able to come together. For some of you, there's up to 10 members within your soul family that you're going to meet. It could be that you meet each other also when you are all more stable financially, when your homes feel more secure, so to speak. I also heard before that part of the lesson for all of you is, how am I going to say this, Spirit? When you heal your thoughts and issues around abundance, because there is maybe so much lack in your past, you could have gotten on this path where it's all about reaching abundance, making as much money as possible. You might have a hard time balancing your work-life balance. You might have a hard time slowing down. You might feel as though you always have to be go, 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 always striving, always reaching for that next goal. And I feel like part of the message is that you are meant to be successful. The people that you meet are meant to be successful in their own right. But at the same time, part of the lesson that you need to learn is really, what is success for you? Not worrying about what other people have, what other people are doing, but what is success for you? What will ultimately make you happy? And either way, you are meant to, like the 10 of Pentacles for me is legacy. You're meant to leave some sort of legacy, whether that's financial legacy, whether that is the lessons that you've learned, right? Like teaching your kids differently than you were taught, creating programs or classes where you teach other people also how to move past these karmic relationships, how to let go of anger, learning how to trust, learning how to pull themselves up when they hit rock bottom. When your home is secure and stable, when you are secure and stable, is when these soul family members will begin coming into you. When your heart is healed and ready for true, loving, honest, loyal, dependable relationships. Because even though you may feel like you're ready for it, there might be some lingering things in your energy that might make you put some guards up, that might make you overreact to constructive criticism, even though these people will just say it to you out of love because they love and respect you so much. Right? Didn't the book talk about that? Karmic? Didn't the book? Karmic relationships. What is it? When we go into reactive second guessing, but when I see it, when you learn to control your temper. I'm being drawn to Beauty and the Beast. That's basically the message, is when you learn how to not take things personally, learn to control your temper, learn to accept loving criticism. Because in your past life, criticisms may not have been loving. They have been judgmental. They have been hurtful and detrimental. But not all criticisms are that way. Sometimes there's loving, constructive criticism. And that is what these people in your soul family will bring to you. They will want to see you grow and succeed. They will believe in you. They will build you up, but they will also be honest with you when they need to. And that is part of the message, the mission that you are meant to relay to the rest of the world. Trust the seasons. Trust the wave that you rode in on. Your time will come for abundance. Your time will come for recognition. Your time will come for that stable home life. That time will come for meeting your soul family. And they're waiting for you too. Like this right here. They are waiting for you. I love that. This is such... I'm getting the chills looking at this card. It's like these people are gonna get you on a whole nother level. They're gonna understand your quirkiness, your quirks. They're going to understand you. Even if you still have a reactive sort of personality, they're going to get it, and they're not going to take it personally because they're going to understand. They're going to be into the same things that you're into. They're going to be open to trying the new things that you bring into their life. You're going to be open to trying the new things that they bring into your life. And we have this 26 reducing to an 8. It's so much abundance. You all will bring so much abundance into each other's lives. But first, I feel you have to begin bringing that abundance into your own life by letting go of anger, letting go of conflict, learning to soften your heart, learning to grow through the drama, right? To bloom where you are planted. Not trying to escape it, not trying to change it, just accepting it for what is. And trusting that the universe has a greater plan for you, because it does. Group 4, if this message resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support the channel even more, there is an Amazon wish list listed in the description box below. Every purchase made from that will come with a free reading, so make sure to include your YouTube handle name so I know who to contact. Everything that is purchased goes directly into the channel to make it bigger, better, and more fabulous. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye.